Poetry Out Loud 2024. Our theme this year is Say Your Piece. I am so happy and excited to have everyone here. The sight of a full audience almost makes me cry, and I will be crying by the end of this. So if you see me, I'll be a mess, and that's okay. Your students have been spectacular preparing for this show. The 7th graders have worked so incredibly hard to find poems that suit and meet this theme and memorize them. It is very difficult to get up in front of me and say a poem that you are figuring out the meaning and the meter and the feeling of. And yet they have practiced over the past 2 weeks in front of me on this stage probably upward of 25 times. And every time they sit and listen to my critiques. Your 8th grade students have written poems about themselves and their experiences and their thoughts and their beliefs that are so true to who they are and so profound. I am exceedingly proud of every single student. If you have a moment as Poetry Out Loud closes, the 8th grade poems that they have written themselves are on display over on this wall, along with little author bios about them and why they wrote the poem that they did. If you'd like to look at your student's poem or other people's poems, I really encourage you to do so. I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to say some special thank yous before the show begins. Yesterday, when we were setting up this room, I had every 7th and 8th grade student come to me and say, Mrs. Kittrell, what do you need from me? How can I help you? And that just shows what kind of children you are raising. I especially want to thank Miss Butcher and her art class, the 8th grade, for doing these amazing Poetry Out Loud letter designs, stunning, and setting up our trees, beautiful. Yes. And I want to thank every teacher who has, worked with me on the schedule, on me taking students, on me upending their classes and altering the schedules. I especially want to thank Mr. Nip, who is standing in the back of the room. We could not do this program as functionally as we can without his help because he is with me 24/7 while we are running these poems. I will not talk anymore. I will let the students do the talking for themselves. I hope you enjoy Poetry Out Loud 2024.